Hello everyone, this is Mark Blanton from the Real South Africa. We have a group of people here. I don't know, you got here by plane, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, good.
We actually had to fly here.
Okay, I want to make sure, but we got a bunch of African Americans. They all came from Texas for some odd reason, and they have a story to tell. So what I'm going to do is kind of go around the room, not around the room, but just kind of go around and let them introduce themselves and tell you who they are and why they came to the Republic of South Africa. All right, so let's start over here.
Good afternoon. My name is Daryl Shaw. I'm from Fort Worth, Texas, and I decided to come to Johannesburg on this trip because I felt I wanted to be part of the majority and learn a little bit more about our history here in Johannesburg.
Okay.
My name is Karan Shaw.
Married to.
Married to Daryl L. And we're actually from Crescent by way of Fort Worth. One of the reasons why I'm excited to be here is the fact that we are learning things that aren't taught in school. It's just been a rewarding experience, and there are just no words to really articulate how I feel. So thank you.
So welcome home.
Thank you.
You're home.
Thank you.
You're home. You're home. You're with the people. Trust
Thank
me, all
you.
these South Africans are going to see that they're going to be like, thank you for coming, and you didn't have to.
Yeah.
And we saw the rainbow, so
We saw
You
it.
did see the rainbow.
Yes, we saw it.
we're glad to be home.
It actually rained.
Yes.
So that's on this side. We know what that means. So now we have this one over here. Let's go ahead and introduce yourself.
My name is Claudia Powell. I'm the wife of Stephen Powell, and we are from Mansfield, Texas. I came because Daryl told us we needed to come. And no, I actually came to South Africa in 1989 during apartheid. And I came with a church group, and it was a very different time. And I wanted to see what it's like now, and I'm so glad we came. It's been phenomenal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Well, hi. I'm
Yeah.
Stephen Powell, beautiful woman of Claudia Powell here, my wife here. And why did I come to Africa, South Africa? Because I've never been here, and I've always wanted to come here. I've been all the way around the world, but I've never been to Africa.
Yeah.
And when I was, quick, small story. When the gentleman in South Africa saw me at the restaurant, he says, "Welcome home." And I said, "I don't live here. I don't want to pay my bills," but he just said, "Welcome home, welcome here." I said, "You don't get that in America. You just don't get it." So that's one of the big reasons why my wife came. As friends came here, I said, "What better company can get than that?" And here I am.
Awesome. Excellent. Well, like I said, a lot of us, we do need to return. A lot of us don't. We have a lot of reasons why we don't, and we all understand that. But obviously, you guys came. So, obviously, you introduced yourselves. But what was your overarching reason for coming to South Africa?
One of my overarching reasons is in the United States, because I've been here on two other occasions, but people in the United States just don't know how, I'll use the word good, but yeah, how good it really is here. They see things on the news and they think that's really how things are going,
Exactly.
and it really isn't. And you try to tell them, that's not how it is. And so I like coming here and experiencing the good things that are happening and seeing our people that has our shade actually being successful and, living the life that we were promised.
Yeah.
And those of you who know what I mean, know what I mean.
Yeah.
Know what you mean.
And of course, there's a rebut here.
Just, just to kind of keep it simple, the bottom line is that we don't know a lot of things. We think as Americans we are up here when actually our learning ability is below substandards. Our education, our medical health care, the way that we care for our elderly, we are just behind the Powerball when it comes to that. And just coming here, first of all, I sleep better. The food is not processed. It is.
It's food.
It's food.
Yeah.
I think the Doritos don't even taste the same. So there's something about coming here and seeing the authenticity of it all, and just learning that I descended from here. I came from here, and so I'm proud to be here.
So you came free.
I came freely, willingly.
Nobody's arm got
None,
twisted.
none. So
You
yeah.
came through the door of the return.
Yes.
I do call it that for a lot of reasons, because we always talk about the door you can't return,
Right.
and and we weep and we get upset about it. But I mean, we could change that paradigm. We can make that door the door that we come through to get back to Africa, and then of course, if you want to go to other places in Africa, you can start right here in South Africa. Now, I got a question for you, or a statement. I want you to follow it up. Okay. Seriously, because we're here all the time, and we get a lot of South Africans that ask us a lot of questions. And one of the questions is, well, why do y'all want to come to South Africa? Like, why South Africa, right? And I think they don't understand, our position in the U.S. And the reason, I think the biggest reason, or what they say, is because they watch us on TV, and they see us on TV all the time, and so they're like, well, why would you leave that to come here? So they don't understand how we get treated.
Yeah.
So I mean, they might have heard me mention it once or twice. I'm probably said it once or twice. I try to keep it low because I'm here. I don't get treated that way anymore.
Right.
What do you say?
Why come here? There's a number of reasons. And I'm speaking in terms of a perspective. We learned of Nelson Mandela and his fight for freedom for people, and so we think it's noble. We equate him to the South African version of Martin Luther King Jr. And so, knowing that history, it's for that reason many people would want to come and just see what it's like. But for us, it was more of a drawing. How to feel welcomed. The way we were treated many years ago when I came, it was very loving, kind. It was. Who would not want to be a part of that? Who would not want to have that welcome when they come? I feel like I'm at a loss for words.
Because it's funny because some again, most of the Black South Africans don't understand why we want to come, and a lot of times I'm like, it's because how we get treated in America.
Oh,
Thank
okay.
you. I'd like to caveat on that.
Let's get a caveat on that.
Yeah. Well, as I said earlier, I've been all the way around the world multiple times, and I've reached the pinnacle point of success, not success in life, but as in a career, as making money and all that good stuff. But I've never had the opportunity to express myself as an African American male. Hey, as a black man, these are things that I expect. And it's always my counterpart has it, I have it, but he gets the recognition, and I don't. And I said, why? Here, I have someone that just recognizes I'm here in South Africa, doesn't know me from absolutely no one, that just welcome me. I said, that's the kind of personality I want around me. So that's one of the main reasons why I really want to see what African Americans, what Africa is all about. South Africa, because the only thing I really know is what the school has taught. That's it. And I said, I know there's so much more. None of my brothers and sisters have been overseas like me. None of my brothers and sisters or my mother and father have been affiliated with, per se, black everything.
Yeah.
Never. And I just said, you know what? This is my first opportunity. I'm going to go home and I'm going to teach and I'm going to tell everybody.
Yeah.
I'm getting broke because I'm buying some of everybody. But that's okay though.
Yeah.
If I made it, I'll make it again. And my wife can attest to this. I always say, what excuse, any excuse will do. What's your excuse to not do it? Any excuse will do. And I said, you know what? Even coming here, before I left, everybody that wasn't on board spoke against coming to Africa. And I don't mean maybe 4 or 5 people. I'm talking, if there were 20 people, 20 people spoke against coming here. Why do you want to go there? I said, well, first reason was because I'm tired of being lied to, because I'm not going by what you guys are saying.
Exactly.
That
And
piece.
I said, this is what I'm going to go and do. And if I come back and find out, hey, that's fine. That's
Yeah.
fine. I ain't rich, but believe me, if I got money back then, I can get it again.
Yeah, of course.
In the future. So it's a big, gigantic open forum. It's a big open door and it's like, this guy welcomed me to his country,
Yeah.
and that doesn't know who I am.
Yes.
It's amazing.
In the airport.
Yeah.
Oh,
And you do such a good job. With
Yes,
your
you do.
videos of
Well, you
portraying
guys are
South
actually
Af-
doing a good job because you're actually in the video. And you know, for real, we need. I always. And sorry I cut you off. But
No.
It's truly a grassroots movement because, like I said, we know we're not going to get it nowhere else.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, if we don't tell our own stories, nobody will never know about who we are and what we do. And so, I find myself amongst South Africans telling their story, and I'm like, this is crazy because they're talking about 1990 something, early 2000, what happened to them, and I'm like, okay, that sounds like civil rights movement. It sounds like post slavery.
Yes.
The things that were happening to them in 1980 something, 1990. I mean, I was out of high school
Right.
in the mid 80s, and I'm like, this is
Yeah.
this is crazy, and these are 30-something-year-old people, 20-something-year-old people telling their truth, and it's just in conversation. Like one conversation that I had, and hopefully we can capture this, but one conversation that I had was people were like, they're talking to us, and they're like, yeah, because we were exiled, and they just kept telling the story, and I did that. I was like, exiled? What do you mean you were exiled? Oh yeah, we had to leave the country because of what was going on with apartheid. But they returned back and they made themselves successful. But they talk about being exiled as this a normal thing. Like you gotta, go to time out or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, or go to.
Wow.
I forgot what it was called in school, but yeah. So we need to tell our story, and because one of the stories that I think about is like, a lot of us that are here now that are African American are like, I wish I would have found out about this when I was younger.
Yes. Yes.
And that's what we try to do for you, get that word out.
Yeah.
And broadcast your videos, forward them to other people, and let them see that, what they learn on the television isn't really what's happening. Because here, I'm assuming that they see a small percent of people on television, the football players or the movie actor, or maybe a couple other people who reach that pinnacle of, I'm successful, I got millions of dollars, I got the nice house, things are going great for me here in America. But they see that that's only a small
Yeah,
percentage.
that's less than 1%.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the 1% of another 1%, because that 1% at the top, that's even less for black people in
Yes.
America.
And then honestly, those people, they know they have to toe the line
Yeah.
to stay in that space. I mean, we saw Bill Cosby, we've seen a few others. Byron Allen, he, trying to fight for, the radio space and TV space. Several others, but I think here, I can honestly say, being here, things are wide open. Wide open. These young people are starting businesses, and you see their billboards up.
Yes.
They're doing amazing. They're doing amazing things, and I'm thinking about our kids that are graduating from college. If they go to college or graduate from college, and they can't even find a job.
Yes.
Right. True.
Yeah. I mean, that
And go ahead, baby.
that's my story. I didn't go to college right out of high school. I didn't go to college until our middle son went to college, and it was, well, let's go, because he was in the military. Let's do that. And so we did graduate. Garrett, sorry, we graduated before you, but we went at a mature age, and even in that, after I graduated, he was he was blessed to kind of springboard. But for me, it took me a good 7 years to have the position that I worked hard to get now in my degree field. I don't think that it would have taken that long had I been here.
Yeah.
That piece. And it's like, okay, I had 7 years, but it only took me 3.5 to get my degree. So 4 of it was trying to get in my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
And you mentioned a lot of people, the young people here that's getting after it, going for that entrepreneurism, making a life for themselves. That I see is bred over here, whereas in the United States,
It's not.
it's bred. Get your degree and get a job and work.
Yeah.
Be consumers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Be
buy
consumers
that
and not
car.
entrepreneurs.
I'm sorry, babe.
That's
Buy
good.
that car, get that credit card, pay these bills.
Yep.
Whereas over here, it's get my own stuff,
Yeah. Build my house.
build my
Build my
house.
house.
Yeah. And that's not something that's bred in, I'll say, African American kids or black kids in America. Now, what's done on the other side of the fence?
Yeah.
It,
What do
it,
you mean?
I'm scratching my head.
Okay,
Just,
you're itching. Okay, 'cause you
yeah.
gotta get some money.
It
Go
is
with
taught.
that.
It is taught to be entrepreneur, and now in the age of TikTok, you see that it's not just speaking to, other ethnicities. It is, if you want to make your wealth and be your own boss, it is out there. But how many of us know how to pull the trigger or basically take advantage of it because we've been taught and it's been ingrained so long? Be a good citizen.
Yep.
Keep your head down, both hands on the wheel. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. And you work, and maybe you'll get a chance to live off of your retirement. Maybe, and that's a great life.
Yeah.
And that's what we're taught.
I will say here in South Africa, the lifestyles here are pretty high. And the middle class is burgeoning quickly. And it took us, think about it. I want to get into a history lesson, but before affirmative action, you can barely find black people that were in the middle class. And then when, of course, affirmative action came along, people started being able to get into these government positions, and now we have a pretty decent middle class as far as blacks. But these guys, I'm trying to tell you, I've been coming here for 10, 11 years. I've seen them go from to, and I said, hey, how you been? I ain't seen you in a while. Oh, yeah, I live over here now, and I'm doing this, and I'm doing this, and that's my company, and that's my company. And I'm like, wow, that's incredible.
Yeah.
So it is happening here in the Republic of South Africa. So let me ask you guys just one last question, go around. So what is your first impressions of this country since you've been here?
I love every bit of it. As we went on the tour, and I had this discussion with my wife, I didn't like how the past were portrayed to us. When I see it from this point of view and from what I've been taught, so much information has not been included. So I get here and I find out, really? I did not know that. And so earlier we went to the museum. I became overwhelmed with so much, not grief, but said, so I've been lied to. So I said, well, I think I'm gonna sit this one out. Because I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna let my thought pattern go. So if it's that much information in this short amount of time, how much more information is out there that I need to know about? How can I teach my kids, hey, this is the way it really is? Because they're teaching it this way from a textbook. I'm teaching you from a life point of view. This is how it is. I'm looking at it. I'm living it. You can do this. So here, this has just been like, not just turn the page to another chapter. This is shut that book, open another book. Let's start a new life. This is your real life. My grandmother told me that you will only do what you are. You can only exceed what you plan for. If you plan it, you got to put your foot into it. Go for it. She said, don't let somebody tell you what you can and cannot do. And like I said earlier, everyone was telling me no. Why this? I said, you know what? You're the wrong people. You can't hold a conversation with them. You just can't. Everything about you is no. That's why you don't have. So coming here, just welcome me. I'm taking that one. So I can see myself coming here, but I'm also going to see myself taking my information that I have and dispersing it out. I'm not going to waste my time with people that can't affiliate my thoughts. They can't understand what I'm telling them. So, let's check that out.
I love it.
So I don't see any need in there to try to speak with them when all they're trying to do is to cut me down or try to cut down South Africa because they don't know anything about it. They only go by what they see on TV. I said there's so much more to it than just what you see on TV. That's all we really, a lot of people know, what they see on TV. Here, I'm I'm seeing the whole world like, wow, South Africa. I never knew.
Yeah.
So
that's a good first impression.
Yeah.
it's
Amazing.
W-O-W. Wow, wow. I love it.
Excellent.
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
It was empowering to get off the plane, to feel, you know, to be part of the majority and to feel like I belonged and this is home. Going through, today was a heavy day. I was sharing with Tasha that it was heavy in the sense of all the information that we didn't have.
Yeah.
And then seeing some of the similarities of what is, 27-year struggle for South Africans, and then how many years struggle for people that are still in the United States.
Yeah.
Same mentality, same issues, same concerns. We were going through and they're saying don't shoot, and we're still doing that in 2021, where we have to say please don't shoot, I'm unarmed. So it was, part of it is that I'm angry, not at South Africa in any way, but I'm angry in the sense of why it continues, why it's being perpetuated, and why isn't the truth being told. Coming here helped me to see that, we need to come together as a people and grow as a people. And I was sharing with my husband that I want to do my part in terms of helping to bring us together. And one of the things we talked about as we were driving through, the infrastructures that can be in place that haven't been put in place. We see satellite TVs on tin roof houses, but you don't have electricity.
Come on, every one of them. That part.
Things like that. And we were just like, solar power?
Yeah.
A wind turbine? We can't get those in place where you create jobs? Okay, you didn't ask for all of that. My first
It's your
impression,
truth.
it was wonderful.
Okay.
Because you,
Well, we're passing the baton. The 4x100.
I'm the third leg. I think that my friends articulated everything that I could possibly say about it. But the one thing that is the big ticket item is how do we do our part? And one of the things that I said, by raising individuals to not only be model citizens, but to be aware of their heritage. So the past generation has done what they knew to do with the limited resources that they had. Our generation, if we turn a blind eye, we do everybody a disservice. Our sons and our daughters can teach their children that perhaps maybe our grandchildren will be the ones to turn it around. I don't want it to go that long, but at the end of the day, my contribution is my children. And their contribution is their children. Hopefully we're raising doctors, lawyers, somebody that can empower or make a great impact where there are jobs, there are those solar powers, there are those energy sources that we can be the blessing and then come together as a people while we're doing it. So that the impression is just overwhelming. It's just so much information till it's like brain overload because you have so many emotions that you go through that I've gone through in this one day, laughing like or ooh, and then to tears. That part. So a lot.
Excellent.
okay, it's my turn.
You're the anchor.
I'm closing up. I grew up in Florida. My grandfather was somewhat of a man of stature in the area we grew up in, and he had a little farm, a little garden in his backyard. Had a mule. That mule would wear blinders, and those blinders was to keep him straight, focused on that one path. This is all you gotta do is walk down that path. You don't see what's going on to the left. You don't see what's going on to the right. Just stay focused. Walk down that path. That's all that mule had to do. Americans have been that mule with the blinders on. We don't see, we haven't been taught, our bit has been turned to look over here or look over there. Just been walking down that path and being pop, pop, pop. Stay on that path. Work that job. Get that credit card. That's all they've been doing. That's all we've been doing. I get off the plane in South Africa at the Tambo, OR Tambo. And the first blessing we got when we got around the corner was, you guys are VIPs, follow me.
Yeah.
We was like,
It was like,
He was like, what?
I don't know where she came from.
We did that. Okay.
Okay.
That's what we do. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm like,
Okay, we're VIP. Follow her. So we follow her, and then every step after that, our eyes have been opened, and we just been encountering blessing after blessing. So my saying, or what I would like to tell the people there, is the grass is really greener
it
on the other side of the fence.
really is.
In this case, it's been a wild experience,
Good.
yeah.
Come on.
and we'll be back for more. I
better.
told you.
No, and you will, because you've seen it, you've seen it. Now you're like, okay, what else is there? Like, you guys have mentioned, and you will build relationships with South Africans, well beyond, myself. I'm American. I feel like I'm South African a little bit, but not just a little bit, because I'm with them.
You ain't even got the tan, man.
Yes, right.
At the end of the day, like I said, you all have a role. As I sit here, my South African friends will be laughing what I'm going to say. As mature people here in South Africa, simply because you're mature, even where we are, it's not because you have something, it's not because you own something, it's because you're a mature person and you do have something to offer. So a young person who might even have more than you will literally sit and listen with you and say, Auntie, or Alcy, or Baba, or whatever, what do I need to do? And you might not have, not even close to what they have, but they will listen to you simply because, and I can tell you stories on top of stories, even with myself. I've had young people in their 20s meet me and just want to talk. Like, how do you do that?
Wow.
Or I had this one guy, I'll tell you this little short story. He made me mad because he's a smart guy, he worked for SARS, which is their IRS, and he said to me, because I talk like this, my English isn't good, I can never move up.
Wow.
Now, and being in South Africa, I do understand why he said that, because everything is about your schooling and how far you go and how well you speak English, regardless if you know 7 or 8 other languages, how you speak English. So I had to tell him, I said, look, there's nothing wrong with you. Everything you said to me, I understood. Everything. And I said, so what they have done is got in your head that, because you don't speak good English, then you can never move up and you're not going to try. I said there was a time where I come from, if your nose too wide, or you're too dark, or
Yep. Come on.
Every year they kept, almost every year, like iPhones, they kept coming up with new reasons why we couldn't overcome.
Right.
And then now, I don't think we in the States, we don't play that no more.
I know.
We don't play it.
No.
And eventually they will get there. But I told him, I said, when you was born, I literally told them this. We was at a Boma, fire going, we telling stories, and they just started talking to me. And I said, well, this is what the deal is. And I said, you was born perfect. You were born perfect. There's nothing wrong with you. And he was really upset. And I'm like, there's nothing wrong with you. You're perfect, right? You was born perfect.
It's true.
Yeah, so these stories. So I guess the very last thing. So it was pretty easy working with us to get here, right?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Very approachable, can communicate easy, will get back to me quick on questions.
Oh, yeah.
And you guys,
Absolutely.
Tasha was always on it. Yes,
Always.
I think you was always out filming.
I'm cutting deals. I'm making sure that everything goes.
Oh, wow.
Cutting contracts. I'm a business guy at heart.
Hey, I love that.
I
But
do a lot of stuff.
everything's been great from the very first little meeting we had with Run. Hey, how you doing, Roger? From the very first meeting, everything's been great.
Good.
Fell in place like it should.
Yep.
Okay, good. Well, if you guys want to come to South Africa, be like these, Texans,
Come on.
and just come on to South Africa, and we'll get you sorted out as well.
One last thing.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Great
Thank
job.
you and Tasha. You guys are amazing.
Awesome.
Amazing.
What we got to do what we can. We got to give back or help our people, or I don't know what the word is, but we didn't make the opportunity.
Create the opportunity for
Yeah, just create opportunity, because honestly, a South African did it for us.
Yes.
He said, hey, let me host you and your family. My daughter was a little girl. She was just sitting there. She was a little girl, and your mom, before she passed, and my wife. He said, let me host you. And I was like, nah, I think you're just playing, And then he kept, every month he would call me, Mark, when you coming? I want to host you. So here I am. I said, okay, fine, Zakeli, Zakeli, I'm coming. So we bought tickets, we came, and I'm nervous because I got my mom. I got to make sure, you got to make mom.
Yes.
Mom. Okay, we all know what mom's.
Yes.
So I came over here. I had a little fanny pack. I had like $5K US dollars, just in case. I didn't know what we was going into. I had no clue. I had $5K. If anything went crazy, I had every credit card, all the travel notices, $5K in US dollars in my hand. And I get there. They pick us up from the airport. BMWs picked us up, took us over to Midstream Estates. Y'all all know where it is, Midstream Estates. I'm like, this house better than my house. And I'm doing all right. It was nice. I'm like, man. And then the good part about it is, every time I tried to pay for something, he was like, nope. I went back home with $5,000 US dollars in my pocket. He wouldn't let. And we was there for a week, and they paid for everything, every bit of gas, all the food, all the snacks. Let us stay in his house, beautiful home.
Wow.
Had a reception, had friends come through, and so when we came here, that night it started to rain, and I'm like, yeah, exactly what I'm gonna say. It started to rain, and so all the men, because the men were over here, the women were kind of doing their thing, and so I'm standing in front of them looking at the rain, and I said, man, it's raining. And they looked at me and they said, no, your ancestors are happy that you're home. And I thought, I'm like, yeah, okay. But they all looked at me very seriously, like 5 or 6 men. And they looked at me like, no, your ancestors are happy that you're home. So every South African that's listening will see this video, they all know it. It's common knowledge. So when you message me and you said, oh, yuck, it's raining, I told you to ask the driver. It didn't matter who you asked about this.
Yeah.
And then I think you had missed them. But ultimately, I kind of told you, it's a good thing.
Yes.
Wow.
It's a good thing.
We received that welcome.
We did receive that welcome, because when I was filming, I'm like, okay, we made it to Johannesburg. I said, it's raining. I said, but it's okay.
Yeah.
And I just kind of left it there, but I didn't know that was the thing.
Yeah.
The rain went away and the rainbow came out.
Yes, it did. It sure did.
That made my mom's heart glad when I shared that with her over the phone. She was just like, oh, that's so beautiful.
So there's a lot of stuff to learn about being African that we don't get taught. We're good Americans.
Yeah.
Taxes paid on time.
Yeah.
That FICA guy still trying to find out who he is.
Pay your bills on all of that stuff.
Yeah. All right, guys. We'll see you next time. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. As you guys already know, my name is Mark Edward Blanton from the Real South Africa, owner and operator of this wonderful company that brings you to South Africa. And we do it in a manner in which you get an opportunity to view everything, see everything you need to see, either on a 6-day, 10-day, 13-day trip, or if you want to stay longer, we can arrange that for you as well. We do a lot of stuff. The best thing you could do is go to our YouTube channel if you're not already on it, and subscribe, because when you get there, you will see a lot of information. We put out information all the time, which could be important, or which is important for you to travel to Africa. So if you always wanted to come here, if you wanted to bring that DNA back to South Africa or to Africa, this is the best way to do it. So we hope to hear from you soon. And if there's anything that you need, again, make sure you subscribe to our channel, and also hit us up at info@therealsouthafrica.com.